So in the pack you will find 8 of these in 1.5 meter lengths. So these carriers together with the fire retardant bristle, there will be 8 of them. Now with most double doors, and in fact with all of the kits, you will have spare, you will have additional material left over, and depending on the measurement of your door, you will have between 1 and 2 meters of leftover material. So once you've cut them to size according to the height of your verticals and also across the lintel, you will have a spare. So the best way to join these, because they're going to be in 1.5 meter lengths, and every garage is going to be taller than 1.5 meters unless you live in Hobbitland, but basically you'd take this brush and slide it down about 10 centimeters or so, about 100 mils, to allow a gap, and then from your one of the remaining brushes, just slide the brush out and cut it with the side cutters, so that you have a loose piece about 20 centimeters long, and then cut that piece and slide it in there about halfway, and then if you take the other length, you can just slide it in there like that, and it will create a seamless brush join. And then you can obviously attach it to the wall, and then you obviously slide the other brush, the rest of the brush strip in there to complete that. So let me just do that. But on the join there, you will see it is completely it will be completely seamless once it is stuck to the wall. Okay. The other thing that you will then have in the kit, well, formerly when you opened up the tube, you would receive your lengths of brush, either the 50mm or the 25mm brush on with the carrier. You would have received a seal for the rear of the carrier, so that it would fill up any gaps that might be present between the aluminium carrier and the brickwork. And then you would have received a selection, depending on the garage that you had, whether the lintel was made out of timber or steel, and your walls as well. It could be any of a selection of fixings that would be used. However, all of that is now a thing of the past. So we've introduced the use of Selleys liquid nails, the instant hold, and this is now the only real product or fixing product that is supplied then with the carriers. And this can be attached to timber, attached to brickwork, concrete, steel, and the concrete can even be a little bit damp. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be clamped. So you will receive the carrier with the relevant bristle length, the Selleys liquid nails instant hold, and an instruction manual. And that is the relevant instruction manual, whether it is a roller door or a sectional door. And at the rear of that manual, you will find the new pages which reflect our changeover to the instant hold. We've been asked why we made the switch to the instant hold instead of the physical fixings, and the reason is quite simple. It's easier to install for installers as well for DIY, and it also means that for a variety of surfaces, we don't have to worry about mess, disruption really of the particular area due to dust and the other inconveniences that go along with using physical fixings. We have tested it on a number of surfaces, all the surfaces that we think it could possibly be applied to, and it has proved extremely strong. So it's both an indoor and outdoor product. So even if you're fixing to the external lintel, it's not a problem. Just follow the instructions, and For those who may have questioned whether this is strong enough to hold the carriers up, it really is over engineering, because the actual rating is up to 400 kilograms per square meter. The other reason that the liquid nails can replace the EconoSeal that we used to supply is because, obviously, being a liquid glue, it automatically fills the gaps anyway, and so you wouldn't have the normal gap that you would get behind the carrier, because this is not only acting as a glue, but it's acting as a partial filler. Obviously, if the gap is extreme, you might need still to purchase a seal, but that would be very, very rare.